Hi guys, and welcome to my kitchen. Recently I came across absolutely wonderful thing, which is silicone mold in the shape of small rabbits. How wonderful is that, especially that Easter is coming. So I decided to make a video of how you can prepare this absolutely great and funny dessert that not only your kids will love. So my idea is a small dessert in the shape of a rabbit with chocolate case and cream filling, and of course some raspberries just to make it more sharp. If you want to see how to make them, stay tuned and watch the rest of the video.
If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any recipes in the future. I post new videos at least twice a week. To begin with, we need to soak our gelatin. In order to do that, we pour just cold water on top of it and set it aside to soak. And then we are ready to start with our chocolate. First, we need to prepare the pan with the water inside, and we boil the water. Then we put our chocolate in a little bowl over the steam, and we just wait until it starts to dissolve. These are the forms, the silicone forms I will be using. These are small 6 hollow forms of small rabbits. When our chocolate is melted, we can start to make the casing, the chocolate casing of our rabbits. So, in order to do that, we pour a little bit of a melted chocolate, we turn our form, and we allow the chocolate to cover the walls and the bottom. And right now, the chocolate needs to go into the fridge so it sets. In the meantime, we melt our white chocolate. When it's melted, we do exactly the same. We take our form out of the fridge, we pour a little bit of the melted chocolate inside, we turn it, and the chocolate covers the walls. Make sure that there is not too much chocolate on the bottom of the case, because the case will be too thick to break afterwards. When we are done, the form needs to go into the fridge and we can prepare our filling. We need double cream, we add a little bit of vanilla extract and of course some sugar. When it comes to the sugar amount, you need to decide for yourself how sweet you want it to be. You can just taste it. Then we just mix our cream until it reaches soft peaks. When it looks like that, we can add our mascarpone cheese. We mix a little bit more until it's combined well, and then we can add our gelatin. The gelatin is soaked, so we need to just put it into the microwave for 10 seconds. It becomes liquid, and we can add it straight away to our filling. And we just need to combine it. It will become a little bit more liquid in the form, so it's not as thick as a cream, but don't worry, it will set in the fridge. And right now we take our forms out of the fridge, we fill with the cream half of the casing, like that. When it is half filled, we can add our fruit. I'm using Morello cherry compote, just because it is a little bit sour, so it will break the sweetness of our filling. It is not too sweet then. When we fill in the form, we need to put it into the freezer for at least 8 hours, so it sets really well, so we can take it out of the form very easily. When our rabbits are set, this is the time to prepare the grass, which is green colored sponge. For the sponge we will be using the colorings. I'm using green and yellow just to add a little bit vibrancy to the color, and also orange oil, which will add a really nice taste to it. It goes really well with white chocolate as well as cream inside. I'm adding my colorants to the yolks. Just because I want to combine all the liquid ingredients together, it is easier to distribute the coloring well. Into the yolks I also added the oil extract And I'm adding my yogurt. Yogurt will add a little bit of moisture to the sponge, so it's not dry. When it is combined, we set it aside. This is the time to prepare our egg whites. We add all the sugar to them and we whip them really well. When it reaches like stiff peaks and the consistency is more or less like a very thick cream, this is the time to add our yolks mixture, the coloring mixture, and we whip it just very quickly, nothing more than just to combine the ingredients. And right now we need to sieve our flour. I add flour in 2 steps. First one part, then the second part. And when the second part is done, we can just whip it very quickly just to combine. We don't do it for more than 10 seconds. And right now we can just transfer the sponge mixture into the prepared form. I always use a little bit of a baking paper on the bottom just so the sponge doesn't stick to the bottom. And we bake our sponge for just 15 minutes in 160 degrees Celsius so it doesn't dry out and it's really nice and moist. And these are the rabbits when we take them out of the freezer. As you can see, because they set really well, it is very easy to take them out. As you can see, this is how it looks like when we take it out. This is the dark chocolate one. All the small details are really well visible, and this is the white one. As you can see, it is really not difficult to take them out. You have to be a little bit more careful when it comes to the ears because they are a little bit more fragile. And as you can see, the white one looks really well as well. So the rabbits are ready. They need to stay in a room temperature for a little bit just to melt a bit so it's not ice. This is our green sponge straight away from the oven. When it cools down a little bit, we can take the paper from it and we just use the fork to just tear it, the surface of the sponge, and it becomes something similar to grass. And right now I will be coloring the rabbits. I always use just a little bit of dark chocolate, and the red one is just the cherry compote I used before. The dark one I'm just coloring with a little bit of the white chocolate and also a little bit of the cherry compote. You don't have to color them, they look really nice without that anyway. This is just to add a little bit of character to them. Feel free to color them as you want. I have 6 rabbits, so I will be cutting my sponge into 6 pieces. As you can see, it is so soft, so nice, and it is still very moist. And I will just put the rabbits onto the grass. They look absolutely amazing. They're just so crazy beautiful. I love them, and my family love them as well. This is how the rabbit looks inside. If you want to cut it really nicely, you have to use a very hot knife, and that's how it looks like. The casing is very, very thin, so it is really easy to break it when you eat it. They look amazing on the table. Everybody always just wonders, oh my god, what it is, how you made it. It is a really good way to impress your kids, your guests. They always look great and they taste amazing as well. It's fun to make and it's fun to eat. If you like my video, then make sure you subscribe and you can check some other recipes. Thank you very much for watching today and see you next time.